What's up, Underworld Ministry? We're back. I missed you guys. So happy you guys are back to come and see us again. We have one of my favorite haunted houses. We've done the Conjuring, we've done the McIntyre, we've done the Wildwood, and you guys know I love haunted houses. And we have a big one this time. Here's our guest this week. The Hinsdale House, guys. I mean, can't get any bigger than that in the paranormal field with haunted houses. And we have the owner. So let's bring him up and find out what makes this so special.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you, man?
Hanging in there, rushing around.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys are staying warm up there.
No, we're not. It's freezing. It's cold as hell.
I'll bring some Florida weather up there for you.
Please, because it's saying highs of 20 in the next couple of days. 20, 25, 30 degrees. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, and we have a temperature drop of 3, which is like 60.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful. I'd take that.
Yeah. So the Hinsdale House, man. How did that happen? How did you get into that?
I actually was going there with my team, paranormal team, before I owned it. Other people owned it, and we were documenting what we did on YouTube. We have a show called Behind the Shadows, and we were filming there. We were going to film our episode at Hinsdale House, and it ended up being so intriguing. I remember the first time I ever went there, the co-founder of my group, Cameron, he's like, I'm taking care of this one. You know, usually I'm the recon guy. I'm the guy that got all the information about the locations. Yeah. And he said, let me take care of this one. I'll brief everybody when we get there. It was in the middle of December. So you're talking like right now, like it is right now with the icy roads, freezing. And, you know, gave us the address. And, you know, we knew nothing about this location before we got there. And I only had like a car that didn't have all-wheel drive, so I'm trying to drive up this icy hill, and this house is in the middle of nowhere, literally in the middle of nowhere. There's no neighbors. It's just sitting in the middle of nowhere. And I remember pulling up to it, and it was like, you know, that commercial that you see around Halloween where there's a guy going around with a chainsaw, and then the people get in the car and they're about to drive off. They're like, oh, let's go hide in the garage with the chainsaws, you know? That's kind of the feeling I got when I pulled up to this place. It's just such an eerie feeling, not even knowing any of the history yet, you know, just like just getting there. And we went in to go film, and the first thing he had us do is sit down in the living room, and he plopped his computer down, and a couple things stood out to me right away when I got in this house. Number one, it was the middle of the winter, and there was flies buzzing around in the kitchen. There's no heat. There's no heat in this house. They had a space heater in the living room, electricity in the living room only. And there are flies buzzing around, you know, in the middle of December. And so that was like the first flag. So then he had to sit down in the living room, and he plopped down his computer and he put on the episode of A Haunting. It's called The Dark Forest, and it's based on the family that lived there in the 1970s. And you know, basically, I sat there in awe watching this television show, and wondering, like, I hope we're not in this house. I hope we're not, you know, not inside of this house. You know, like that would freak me out, because, you know, it's kind of something you want to mentally prepare for. And I remember getting done watching this episode of A Haunting, and I said, you know, we're not in the house that's on the show. And he's like, yeah, cool. I'm like, no, not cool. You know, that was like, you know, didn't hit me right, you know, and I'm like, I'm in a house that had a failed exorcism, and you didn't think that was, you know, we should kind of brief each other on this before we got here, you know, like what the hell, you know? And so, you know, I left the house. I had to kind of collect my thoughts, and the other team members did what they had to do. But the thing that really stood out about this place, you know, after I did go in, we did have our investigation, had our typical paranormal tools that you would have at any, you know, investigation. And, you know, and the thing, everything was working, everything was going off, like set down a K2 meter, the K2 meter would go off. To try to do a recording of an EVP, the EVP would go off. And it was like above and beyond any other location that I ever been to. And I don't know if the house was calling to me, but I'm sure you've done investigations where you sit in a room for an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, nothing happens.
For
And
sure.
here we are at this little house, this little farmhouse in the middle of December, uh, with all of our equipment working, all of our equipment going off. And it just really, it made me want to go back, like I'm like, there's energies here that are trying to communicate with us.
Right.
And we're just using these primitive pieces of equipment. We need to dive in more here. We need to figure out what's going on, and I got intrigued with the location, and not like Gollum, with the ring type of
Yeah,
intrigue,
yeah, yeah.
but it was just like many people that come to this location to investigate. They enjoy it, and they want to come back, and they have their own unfinished business that they want to take care of, or maybe they hit on something that we haven't hit on yet, and then they want to come back and try to get more. So there's tons of teams come back every year. There's some
Yeah.
teams that started booking out for a week. There's some teams that just want to spend more time there, and it calls out to people. So, and it's basically what it did for me.
So how do you get into purchasing it?
Well, so at this point, the house, and I know you have pictures of the location. Do you have the picture
Yeah.
the pictures of the yellow house that you can plop up real quick? So at this point, the house was in shambles. There was, black mold all throughout the kitchen. There was, holes in the walls. The roof was leaking. The windows, where the air was coming in the windows, porch was falling apart, and it just needed a lot of work. And the guy that owned it up in Calgary, it basically they defaulted on the loan up there, and they couldn't continue to pay the mortgage, and it went back to the people that owned it, the Reese Tree Farms in Cattaraugus County. And I remember I was sitting there. We had basically been allowed to come back one more time with our team to film, and we were basically saying goodbye to the location. It had a wrecking ball date.
Oh, wow.
All the electrical and ductwork was ripped out of this house. It was a shell, basically ready to get torn down. And we were there filming. We were in the kitchen. Obviously, there's no electric, nothing, no reason for any equipment to be going off in the house at this point. I remember it was me, Cameron, Michelle, and Tim Shaw, and we were in the kitchen filming, and they were talking about the exorcisms, the failed structural exorcism in the house. And I had done a little bit of research, and I had found out that there was this family that lived there in the 80s, the Misnick family, to older couple, and I know that they had both passed away, and they both lived in the house. And I was going with the new information that I learned. I'm like, if it's got to happen to these people, it's got to happen to people that lived there after them, right? So these
Right.
people that lived there in the 70s had stuff happening. Maybe this family had stuff happening as well. So I just basically called out, and I had a K2 meter in my hand, and I said, Flo, are you here? And I swear to God, it went all the way up to 500 milligauss. The goosebumps up my arm, static. You could just feel
Yeah,
it on my
yeah,
arm. And
yeah,
I get chills thinking about it to this day, because that's the point that I knew that I needed to try to save the location. I
yeah,
continued to have what I thought was a conversation with Flo Misnick. And to the point where I held the K2 meter in my hand, and I was standing next to the stairs, and I said, Flo, can you hold my hand as we go up the stairs? Now, I've had these things sit on the ground, I've had them bleep on and off, yes and no questions. But at
yeah.
this time, the K2 meter stayed lit in my hand all the way up the stairs into the master bedroom after I had asked her to do that. And
Wow.
I just knew, man, this place has too many unanswered questions, and it would be a travesty to let this place go. You see so many locations that are investigated, the history, they have such amazing history, and they're gone.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't really have a plan in my head. I just said, I wish we could save this location. I had just bought a new house with my family, so it wasn't like I had a lot of money sitting in the bank. And Michelle, the house manager at the time, she's like, you need to call down to the Reese Tree Farms and see if you can save it then. So I did call down there, and they heard my passion for the location. They said, you can buy it without the house. I said, no, I need it with the house. I
Yeah.
need to save this house. Listen, told them why I wanted to do it, and they could feel my passion for it. And they told me I had to come down to Cuba, New York on Wednesday to discuss it and come up with a plan. And After going down there and talking to them about it, basically I had to come up with like a $10,000 deposit. Like
Oh
who has
wow.
that sitting in their back pocket? We're
Yeah,
paranormal
right.
investigators. We're poor, we don't have any money
Yeah.
like that,
If,
and
and if we do, we have new equipment.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like my next big step was that having to go home and speak with my wife. Hey, honey, remember that
That's
haunted?
the hard part.
Yeah, actually it wasn't that hard. She was very supportive
Oh,
of what I do, and but it was a weird conversation. She's like, "Well, tell me more about the location." I'm like, "Oh, well, it's got black mold and it has no electricity and
yeah.
it needs new roof, needs new siding. It basically needs everything." But she believed in my vision, believed in what I wanted to do with the location, and she basically allowed me to clear my bank account out and put the deposit down on the location. And I went down there and I signed a contract, land contract with them to buy it. And I remember taking after I got the contract and signed it, and I went in front of the house, and the grass was 4 feet tall, and I knew that
Wow.
we needed to save that roof before the end of the winter. And I said, I don't know what the f I just did. I go, I'm freaking nuts. This is crazy. But the community really came together. Paranormal community, people that are interested, enthusiasts in the paranormal.
Yeah.
Brooke, people from Wildwood Sanitarium, Brooke and
Zach.
Lori. They well, Zach wasn't in the picture yet. He
Oh, okay.
Zach was like this big. He was a
Oh,
little
okay.
he was a
No,
little
no,
toddler at the time when I bought it.
gotcha.
But he's so was Brookie, his wife.
Yeah.
she just
Yeah.
she just tagged along where mommy went. So but
Yeah.
they came out and I did like a day of caring, and we had like 65 people show up, like from the paranormal community, people that I've done tours with my group from Buffalo, drove all the way down there just to they brought supplies. Hey, what's up, Caleb? What's up, everybody in the chat? How's it going? So yeah, I mean, they came down and we were able to basically patch the house up. It was a crap job, it was we were able to get the roof done, patch job done on the roof, full tear off of the one section, and it was just we used what we had and what was donated. It looked like a what do you call those quilts with all the different patches on
Oh,
it and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it solidified the location at least until we could save the money to do it right and get it
Right.
done correctly. So yeah, it's just it's been a whirlwind, man. Just working on that place and all the people that have helped out. It's been amazing.
So when you first bought it, did you kind of just go in because you've already investigated, you already built a reputation there from the spirits, they already knew you. So did you go in and was like, I own this now, I'm a caretaker, you guys aren't going anywhere type thing? Or
Well, no, I didn't say it like that. I mean, I'm not wanting to trap these energies that are there. Like I'm
oh,
not.
oh yeah, I'm just saying that I saved the house so you
Uh,
guys can stay here, you guys can.
yeah. I think that they knew that. I think that they put me in the position to do it. I mean, I kind of feel like I was put there for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I worked with a psychic years later doing a podcast who's passed away now, but she's told me some stuff about how the house calls out to people and how it reels people in. And just like Clara in the 1970s said the house called out to her, I felt like it called out to me. And I feel like maybe I was put in this position to do the right thing with it. I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, everybody, I found out about this location the same way I found out about Wildwood was Paranormal Lockdown with Nick Ruff and Katrina.
Yeah.
And yeah, that episode just completely blew my mind. Like,
Well, that was the other thing. Like I didn't know how I was going to raise funds to I knew I have a marketing background. I knew how I wanted to try to market the location, but it's a
right,
it's a it's a long-term effort to try to get the word out and spread the word about locations and going to
especially if
events,
it's
meeting
so
people.
remote.
Yeah, so having a television show come, I remember, this obviously Paranormal Lockdown wasn't a thing yet, so
Yeah,
and you get all these requests from groups and teams that want to come and promote and do their filmings or whatever, and I'm so open to it, I'm so open to having anybody come in. It's their perspective of the location, you know what I mean? So it does, some people try to control the narrative.
right,
I appreciate if they if the people use the history that we have that we know for sure and try not to focus on the folklore so much. Some people focus on the folklore because I guess there could be some truth to it. You never know. But um, I remember the basic stuff that I knew about the house. I had gotten an email from this guy named Justin, which ended up being Nick's cousin. I didn't know that, and he wanted to
Right.
see if he could come and film his television show there. And I'm like, oh, another television show. Here we go. Here,
Yeah.
yeah, it's another television show. But the thing that really stood out about Justin was that he knew the history of the house. He knew the history of the location more than I did. Now I own the house. Here's this guy telling me more than that. So I'm obviously very intrigued, wanting to know his research, and so
Right.
I talked to him numerous times, and then they decided that they would come and film at the location. We set everything up, and then I got the contract in the mail. It was from Groff Entertainment, and I was kind of like, whoa, wait a second here,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
is
That's
this one
big.
of the big? This is one of the big
Yeah.
guys,
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't know he was bringing Katrina at the time either, So it
Oh
was
wow.
yeah. So when they showed up, I'm like, wait a second, I know who she is too. This is pretty cool, and
Yeah.
got to know them really well. And Nick's been since he's filmed Paranormal Lockdown, he's been invested into the house, helping me with the research. We filmed Death Walker there, his new
Yeah.
show,
Yep.
and we've been able to do some amazing things to uncover history that you normally don't get to do on a paranormal investigation, which is really cool. And only being able to own a location is be able to open those can of worms.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to be able to dive in even more. How cool would it be to be like, oh, all these psychics are telling me there's bodies buried on the property. There's folklore about bodies buried on the property. Who can just call in ground penetrating radar at $400 an hour to come in and scan their
Right.
property? But with a television show, you're able to do stuff like that. So it's been able to, like I said, open up doors in history of things that we didn't know existed. We found things that we didn't know were there, and all because of the television shows and being able to bring them in and raise and actually the funds that from people being able to come to the location as well,
Yeah.
being able to reinvest that back into the location, and it's fixing it up in the history and stuff too. So
That's
try
awesome.
to put it back in.
Yeah, for sure. I want to show some of the pictures since you've restored it. It's
Yeah. See how nice it looks now?
100% awesome. Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know who took these pictures, but these are the ones that
I
I've
took
always seen.
My friend Rosa took that picture right there from Michigan,
Wow.
but I took a couple of them. She took that one too. And they're these are all just like, these are just amateur pictures. These aren't like
Yeah.
pictures of like the one with the fog in the background. Jeff Fent took that picture.
Oh yeah.
He was there, spent the night there. He's researched the house numerous times, and I love that picture. It's so cool. He
Yeah.
actually caught pictures of the deer out in the back too,
Oh
out by the
wow.
pond.
I don't think I have. That one's amazing. Like
That's cool.
I'm just a photography nerd. I like cool pictures, I guess. I don't so watching the TV show, doing my own research, everything, um the Dandy family was part of the exorcisms, correct?
Oh yeah.
Oh
I've gone out to Oregon and got to actually sit down with Clara. That was
wow.
amazing, just to be able to talk to her and hear her history and her story of what happened to her family while living at that house.
Yeah.
And yeah, like they were there. She told me she kind of set up the whole how everything was, and they had the priest there, Father Alphonsus Trabolt from St. Bonaventure University. They had a psychic, a pretty famous psychic. His name was Alex Tanis. They have a foundation for him right now. They had a film crew from New York City, and the
Wow.
family basically knelt in a circle in the living room on the ground, and they performed this. It's kind of like more like a house blessing, like a structural exorcism. Like they try to rid the house of the
Right.
energies that are there. But
And
they said the whole house shook and it was cleared like within 20 seconds. And
wow.
the film crew supposedly, and I have not been able to uncover this document or this footage from the film crew. I've been searching for it for years.
Yeah.
But they said that the whole house screamed, like it was screaming, like from they had a microphone on the outside
Wow.
of the house, and it was cleared. And then they also did, prior to that, they did a mass in the kitchen. So I mean, they
Know
tried
that.
numerous times. Yeah, they tried numerous times to try to assist the location and assist the family living there and all the things that were happening
Right.
to them. But every time that they did something, it came back, in full force. So it
Yeah,
got to
no.
the point where,
Supposedly it was 3 failed exorcisms, correct? They tried three different times.
yes, and there's also been other things that have happened to other people in that location too that required a priest to come and help.
Oh wow.
That we have documented as well. So,
Now, do you think just a collection of spirits in the house, or do you think it's from the land?
oh, I think it's the land. I think it's the house. I think the house was plopped on uh, you know, just the historic area. It's just the history. If you look at Hinsdale back in the Revolutionary War, we found bullet shards in the wood. We found a Native American relics buried in the ground when we were doing excavating for um, putting a new septic system in. So there is definitely a history there that's not uncovered yet. And
Right.
I mean, the whole town of Hinsdale was burned down at one point.
Oh wow.
During this fighting back and forth. So I believe that there's definitely stuff on the outside of the house and stuff on the inside of the house as well. There's some familiar spirits that we get all the time, but there's also some spirits that we you can't pinpoint. And you try to go back and look at the history and look at names, and a lot of psychics say there's portals there, and I don't know if that's just where spirits can come and go as they want.
Right.
Um, but it's there's been nights where it's been dead, and then there's been nights where it's been super active. So,
I've been there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've been there multiple times. I'm like, I don't. I guess we're gonna go home early. I don't.
I never say that. Never go
Yeah.
home early because you just never know what could happen. There
Yeah.
was a friend of mine. She's a skeptic. Something's never happened. She's never had anything happen to her before, and she wanted to experience the house. So we went up there on an off night when there was no booking, and we were just got a pizza. We were chilling in the living or in the kitchen, talking. Just didn't have a lot of equipment with us. We were just trying to see if we could hear anything or see anything happen, and nothing was happening. And we were gonna crash there. So she laid down on the small couch. I laid down on the bigger couch, and that night, and all the years I've been doing this, I'm not one to say, oh, I've been touched. I felt that. Like it
Yeah.
happens to a lot of people. It doesn't happen to me. Maybe it happened to me twice, and I was just sleeping on the couch, and I felt something like rub the back of my neck. And I'm like, I looked over, and she's still there, so it's not her pulling a prank. I'm like, please don't be like a mouse or something. Like what the hell is that? And
Yeah.
I turned over, and the only light that was on in the living room was a little night light on the wall, and you just saw this shadow just glide right in front of it. It darked out the light, and I
Wow.
just remember kicking over to her. I'm like, hey, Haley, turn over, and she turned over because we had just gone to sleep within the
Yeah.
past half hour, and she's like, oh my God, do you see that? And I go, okay, this is what you're here for.
Yeah.
And then she jumped over on the couch, and it just glided back and forth a few times, and then it just
Yeah.
dissipated. Now in the living room, there was Beth's. We named all the rooms after the Dandy family kids, but there was a room that's opened up now that we just kind of use as an extension of the living room, but it used to be a bedroom, and it glided into that room and then just dissipated into the wall. So it was quite amazing. Now we've captured shadow people on these cameras in the house, on the outside of the house. We've captured them. Other teams have captured them. It's amazing the amount of times when we've captured this. Oh yeah, yeah. Around 4:30 in the morning, huh? Yeah. You just never know. Yeah, you just never
I
know.
do.
Like,
I do have a couple questions.
sure.
Dawn was asking, hasn't some of the Dandy family came back to visit since then?
So, Clara has come back. I don't know. Since I've owned the house, no, none of the Dandy family has been back. I know Clara came before I owned it because they were trying to film a documentary for her on the location.
Yeah.
But I don't know, if any of the other kids have been there. when I met the daughter Mary in California, or in Oregon. I mean, I'm sorry, they lived in California, moved to Oregon, and she didn't really want to talk about the house. She did not want to, reminisce
I
about it
don't
at
blame her.
all. It wasn't
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
something that she was interested in doing. So
yeah. And then is the house open for tours? Or
yeah,
is
yeah.
it
I mean, we do tours every day. You can book them right at hauntedhinsdalehouse.com. We start doing tours at noon. If you need to come earlier, just kind of send me a message and we can arrange it. But we start them at noon, and we generally go till about 6 o'clock with regular tours daily, and then we open up the evenings for paranormal teams, which every day is booked. Every day is booked with teams and
um,
groups coming in. It's hard to get a night there. Weekends are almost gone for 2026, and the
wow?
weekdays will fill up for sure. But if we have an open weekday, we will open the tours up later as well, or we'll do some paranormal investigations and have public investigations and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. Now I know that it's not that many rooms, and it's not a very big house.
No.
Um, do you want to explain a couple of these locations and what this is?
So yeah, so this is the master bedroom. This is the biggest bedroom in the house. The room to the left, that was Mary's room. Now on Paranormal Lockdown, that's the room that all the flies were in.
Yeah, yeah,
When I purchased the house, and even when the Dandy family lived there, they talked about how the house was infested with bees when they first day that they tried to move in. So I have a funny feeling that the bees that I had to have removed were probably from the same colony. But I had beehive
that's
in that
crazy.
room. Yeah, I had beehive in that room, probably about 500,000 honeybees. 4 feet honeycombs into the wall, and
Yeah,
I had them safely removed, just so there's no haters out there. I did not kill them.
yeah,
There might have been a few casualties in removing that, but there's a honey bee farm on Route 16 coming up to the house from Buffalo, and you can get Haunted Hinsdale honey now there, and they
oh, that's
market it.
awesome. That's
But yeah, so we've had to go in a couple times because it's just such an old house. They find one little tiny crack, and they'll try to move in and call it home. So it's
right.
but that house, they also, if you put that picture back up, that room right there to the left is the room that the Dandy family didn't want anybody staying, and they boarded it up. They felt like all the energy was coming from that room. Many psychics have said there's a portal in there. Now, if you look over to the right, there's there's the steps going downstairs, and then there's another room. It's a small room. Most people would probably consider it a closet, but that was actually a room for one of the kids, Laura. Um, that was Laura's room. Laura's passed away,
Right,
unfortunately, but that was her room, and we feel like we've captured pictures of her, respectively, at the house,
right.
and I showed them to Clara, and she said that looked like her daughter Laura. So
Wow. Yeah, I have a better picture of that room.
yeah, yep,
Um,
that's
it's do you have haunted dolls? Do you keep
they're not.
other stuff in that
No,
room? Or,
the dolls are not the dolls aren't haunted. I do have one that is original to the house that moves on its own, and then one that was sent here
oh,
from the Netherlands. But those are just staged to, people brought stuff to add to the room to try to make it nicer and add
right,
positive energy to the location. So I've never had anything with the dolls that we put in there, as far as paranormal goes,
right.
um, that I've noticed, or anybody's ever told me about. So normally those dolls, if something weird happens with them, I ship them to Wildwood, put them in the doll room.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, I remember talking to Bree from Bree is Tripping.
Uh-huh.
Um, and she was talking about that room, and she said that she was sleeping in there, and there was other people in the other room, I guess, and she just had something breathing over her, like making just the most racket noise that she could hear. And the next people in the next room didn't even hear anything. Like, she got woken up by something messing with her in that room. Um, it's more of the activity in that room.
No, no. I mean, we've been documenting the activity in the house since I've owned it, and actually before, the manager of the location, they actually were documenting prior to me owning it. So I was actually able to obtain that information from them. We were all friends. And then actually, when I first bought the house, I was very weary about trying to move forward with buying it because we were all friends and you don't want to step on other people's toes. And they did a great job with what they had. They weren't paying the mortgage, somebody else was, and they were trying to manage it from, and they did a great job. They got a lot of stuff done with a little bit of money that was getting reinvested back in the location. So it's and then they basically gave me the go ahead, and we were able to, and I moved forward with it. They were able to share information with me. I've been, and just kind of put all of our heads together with it. So it was cool.
That's awesome. So what is it known for? Activity like EVPs? I know you said you got shadows. I know.
Oh yeah.
So what is the most that you get out of the house? Shadows, EVPs,
poltergeist, you name it. Like we've since been able to get Wi-Fi there, and we've installed static cameras in the house that roll 24/7. If nobody's in the house, sometimes we roll them on my YouTube page and let people investigate while nobody's there and stuff.
Or on my Patreon. I'm definitely gonna hit that up now.
Yeah, or on my Patreon. So we do that, and then we've captured things moving on camera before. We've captured live EVPs on those cameras. They have HD cameras and microphones on them, so you're picking up EVPs on those while there's nobody there, and you're just hearing like a conversation. Or I remember the one time I was there cleaning up with my daughter, and then Vicky, who runs the ghost cam service, because the teams that come there and the groups that come there can retrieve this camera footage, which is really cool. So we have 5 cameras staged in the house. Who likes to go to a location if you're a paranormal investigator and set up your static cameras, and then get the DVRs going, and then have to go back and watch 8 hours on each camera. Whereas this one, it's all just recorded for you. And throughout the night, I always say, like, throughout the night, you just make a note of the times when you hear something, you hear something in the other room. Oh, good, there's a camera in there. Then you can go back to that camera and try to look up the time and see if you can see or hear something, or see if it makes sense. Like, it's cool. It's cool to be having those. But we've captured some cool stuff on those. Shadow figures. Do you have any of the pictures of the spirits that I sent you? There's the one that looks like it's from a static camera, of the shadow in the kitchen. Yeah. So this was the first. So when I first got there was no internet. There was no way to like get to the outside world. Like if you were there, your phone didn't work. And I was so excited when I found out a satellite provider that would allow me to have internet service. And it was like, remember the old phones where you had the peak times, off peak times? So they're like, oh, well, you'll have good service after 7 p.m. I go, that's perfect. That's what I want it for, And the first night that we got the camera up and running, one camera, that's all we could do with the bandwidth that we had. And we had it in the living room facing the kitchen and Mike's room. And it was streaming on Paranormal Warehouse, paranormalwarehouse.com. And I remember I was in the chat. We had thousands of people watching before Facebook started screwing with their algorithms. And I answering questions, and I'm like, this is beautiful. This is great marketing. This is getting out to people from places that wouldn't normally have known about this location, So, so I passed out on the couch, and I had the phone in my hand, and it's probably like 1, 2 in the morning, and still like 400, 500 people watching this thing, and my phone starts going buzzing off the hook, and I start sent these screenshots of the shadow coming in from the outside into the kitchen. And I'm like, wow, like we got the, like Kyle said, we got the Holy Grail on the first night of streaming live. And this is what I wanted. It's like, again, it's like that. If you see that'll call you, you got to come and try to figure that out. Like you got to get to this house and try to figure out if you can capture that shadow figure, let's see, So yeah, it was really cool to be able to capture that first night.
This one also.
Yeah, that was on the other camera. Yep, the infrared.
That's crazy. They're more curious of what the camera is. Like they're kind of just peeking over, like, "Hey, what the hell is this?"
They're like, "Oh crap, we got caught on camera. Paranormal caught on camera."
Yeah. Have you sent anything to that? Any evidence?
No, I actually, I haven't as far as like trying to push the location onto these shows. The shows come to me. Like I've never, pushed it out to, like calling up a network and I'm like, do a show here or this or that.
Yeah,
They've reached out to me because of the marketing and the stories and that they've heard about the location. And, we've been able to put the house on America's Most Terrifying Locations.
yeah,
We've been able to put it on my Paranormal Nightmare. We've been able to put it on Paranormal Lockdown. I've turned some shows away, that I don't want to come there. I certain integrity I have as far as how I want the house perceived, and I've turned some places away. For the most part, I don't turn people away, but you know, um, most people have been able to come there and investigate and do their thing.
yeah.
It was really cool when Destination Fear.
I love
They
those.
weren't allowed to come because they did the bigger locations, but then when they got
Yeah.
canceled, they're like, we're doing houses.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah,
yeah, come on down, guys. It was awesome. They did a great
yeah.
job.
I've seen that episode too. It's just being a paranormal investigator myself. Like the Hinsdale House. Like that's a very big name in our field. Like the marketing you've done is amazing. I just wanted to let you know that. Like me all the way in Florida knows that house just because of the TV shows, other investigators talking about it, like Dawn. Um, we've talked about the Hinsdale House a lot.
Yeah, it's international. I mean, we have groups that come from different countries. Tons of different countries. Can I touch on? There's a question from Sharon. Can you pull that up?
Yeah,
Sharon Turner Cole, because I don't get to talk about this a lot. And she says, I would love to have more of the history before and after the Dandies. So I don't know, Sharon, if you caught the episode of Behind the Shadows Decades that I did. But we were able to actually talk to a gentleman that lived there before the Dandies and get some of the history and some of the things that happened to him and his daughter, who we did an interview with for that show. Really cool. So she said that her dad's been holding in all this information his whole life. And basically he said that when he was a younger boy living there with his uncle, he had pulled out his snowmobile and he thought the pond was frozen. So he drove the snowmobile onto the pond. It cracked through and obviously the snowmobile went into the pond, went and got his
right.
uncle. And when they pulled the snowmobile out, he turned around and he said he saw it looked like a man and a woman and a child levitating over the pond with no legs. And he said that image was embedded in his skull, before for his whole life, and he wanted to get it off his chest. And how weird is it that with the filming and the ground penetrating radar that we've done, that we've been able to actually find some burial shafts on the property, of on the right side of the pond. Now, you try to look at the folklore and the history and tie things together, and then you add all these other different puzzle pieces, and yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. It seems like when you try to figure something out, then something else happens, and it's like
Yeah,
that's how I wanted to do too. I've wanted to hear more history about the people that lived there before. I've been able to meet with the McMahon O'Briens. Dan came, but he just recently passed away. But I'm so glad he got to come back to the house, and he shared pictures with me. There's been weddings there, pictures of the animals where the barn used to be.
wow.
Just really really cool history that that I have shared, and I have it in my. I have pictures of the pictures, and I have it in the back of my mind now too. Like I just picture like, man, it would be nice to have a barn back, but there's a pond where the barn was, but it's it would be cool to have some animals on there too. Like there
Yeah, sure.
used to be horses and goats and all different types of animals. We pulled up so much stuff from the barn, and when we were doing ground penetrating radar and doing excavations with the metal detectors and stuff too.
Found a deer leg in the
Oh,
yard.
somebody
Right.
had there's coyotes up there. There's bear.
Oh,
So I mean, there's deer come up to the house all the time because the easy grass for them to eat and stuff like that.
right. So the outside is just as haunted as inside. Outside gets me more. Which I remember watching the paranormal lockdown with Katrina, and Nick was up in the kids' room where it was boarded up, and she was saying if you can do something from out here and go into the house and do something to Nick, do it. Like, prove me wrong. And yeah, like he started getting affected. And I don't know, I was kind of iffy about that just because it's a show, you know. But I've met Katrina a couple times, and I know her and Nick are straight to the
Yeah, I
line.
mean, I've been
Like,
filming with Nick for years now, you know,
yeah,
and even Deathwalker, it was just me and Nick and his cousin Justin filming that. And if Tessa was there filming, it was Tessa, you know, and our equipment manager,
yeah,
you know, Austin. So, I mean, and a lot of the times, like me and Austin, we're not, when they're filming, they're not, you know, that they're just doing their thing, you know, they're just
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
film, document activity and stuff. So, it, cool story. So after Paranormal Lockdown, you know, after Paranormal Lockdown, was aired and everything like that, and they filmed there. One of the coolest pieces of equipment Nick had was that Geo box, you know, and I
yeah,
had ordered one of those like right away I remember the first one I got was only $500. That's how much
wow,
he was charging for them. Now I think
yeah.
the cheapest
Oh,
you can get
they're
them for is a few thousand,
thousands.
two,
Yeah,
yeah, they're a lot of money, but, and I love that piece of equipment. But, so I was there with doing a tour, and I had a small group of people there, and we were doing using my Geo box in the living room, and it just started saying, it just all of a sudden this heavy dark voice started coming through saying, where's Nick? So I'm recording this, and you know, again, I knew Nick as an acquaintance. I didn't feel like, you know, I'm just, oh, let me call Nick, and you know, I wasn't at that stage at this point yet where I could just felt comfortable calling Nick Groff up to say, hey, I got
yeah,
this piece, I don't want to be that guy, you know what I mean, like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
so, yeah, so I text him. I'm like, yo, I got a really weird EVP calling out for you here at the house. And he called me back, and he's like, what do you mean? And when? And I said, it was last night. And this really dark voice started calling, where's Nick? Where's Nick? And he goes, you're not going to believe this. He goes, well, I feel like something followed me home. You know, and he actually, when he did the second episode, you know, you saw inside his house, and
yeah.
the stuff that was happening in his house after he filmed at
Right.
Hinsdale, and he had his house cleansed that night, the night that I started getting those EVPs and the voices coming through on my box, the dark
Yeah,
voices saying, where's Nick? That when he had his house cleansed is right when that started happening, and it just kind of added to the whole mystique of the whole thing, you know what I mean?
yeah, for sure. I mean, I would love to get a phone call after an investigation and be like, yeah, they're still calling you. I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm right. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for sure.
Well, it's
Oh,
been calling him. It's been calling him for years. He was meant to be part of this location. I really
yeah,
believe in it.
that's awesome. Um, so downstairs area, uh, I know you guys sell merch and everything. Is that where you guys? I know you get activity in at the whole house, but what kind of activity do you get in the kitchen
Oh, I
area?
mean, we get the activity of the shadow figures there all the time. We get EVPs in there all the time. K2 meter, energy fluctuations, poltergeist activity. You
Wow.
know, it happens throughout the whole house. I mean, that picture of the shadow was coming through that door in the back right corner there, right
Oh
in front of
wow.
that bedroom. So that was the shadow figure in that room as you were speaking. So as we're speaking,
That's that's awesome. Now I can see signatures everywhere. If
yeah.
you just it's you trying to fill up the whole house or
No, I cut it off because I didn't want it to get too, you know, it's basically in the kitchen, throughout
okay.
the whole kitchen where people were signing. It started off with Nick and Katrina signed the wall, and then I took a picture of them and I put the picture up. And then as people like started coming to the house, you know, Dustin Perry and
Yeah.
Jerry D. Benedetti and you know, whoever came to the house that was of nationally known in the paranormal world, I was having them sign the wall, and then I was putting their picture up next to their signature, you know, and then it got to the point where we were filming a documentary there, and we had to cover up those signatures because they didn't want to have all the signatures on the wall. So then
Yeah.
we put the tape over that looked like wood over the top of the signatures, and then it was like within a week, then people started signing over the tape, and then it just got everybody just started signing. So it's kind of cool though. Like
Yeah.
there was a house that kind of did that. I remember called Willow's Weep. I don't know if you ever heard of that location.
Yeah.
And you would go in, and then all the signatures were there of the teams that had come, and they leave their mark there, and it's fine with me. Like it's cool to be able to go there and say, oh, there's Dakota's name, oh, there's Nick's name, or there's Ghost Hunters, or there's this somebody that's been there and investigated it, and they have their names on the wall, and they were there. So it's cool to just be able to go and do the same thing that they see on TV. Hey,
For
Pam,
sure.
did I see Pam in the chat? I thought I saw Pam.
Yes.
First wedding at the Hinsdale House right there, Pam Kissel Smith. She
That's
comes.
awesome.
She's been she was part of Ghost Hunt USA, and I met her a long time ago, and we've been friends for a long time. And she comes to the house at least once, twice a year. Yeah, she was married there, which is awesome.
I want to go get married at the Hinsdale.
Do you?
That'd be an awesome. Oh, I don't. I'm single.
I can perform the wedding if you need me to.
Yeah.
Like I got ordained for my nephew so I could marry him, and I'm like, well, if people want me to marry them at the Hinsdale House, then that could be an added bonus, I guess, if anybody wanted to do it, or if they wanted to renew their vows.
I'm actually an ordained minister too. I can marry people also.
Nice.
Been there a few times. Last time I was there, I was sleeping with myself and my friend were able to wake me up for hours. That sounds like my kind of sleep.
Well, I mean, the thing is like a lot of people feel like they get drained, of energy. And that's why I always tell people when they come there, if you're feeling like low energy, or you feel like you're getting drained, to get up and move and get out of that area, just to go do something else for a little while,
Yeah.
Jason had something follow him home from when he stayed at the house as well.
Wow.
Jason's actually an author, and his book's available at the Hinsdale House too. He's wrote a little bit about his experiences there, which is really cool.
Now, is that a common thing? Do you get that a lot, that stuff follows people home?
No, not a lot. I mean, I've had it where it has. Hi, Colette. Colette's over in England. No, I've had it happen a couple times where people have said that they've had something follow them home, but not. It tends to be that people on TV, authors, it's really odd. Like people that will like tell the story. You know what I mean? Isn't that weird? Yeah. Like now I'm thinking about it, like because I just said like Jason's an author. Is it like trying to call out to Jason so he like promotes the house? It's weird. Like, did you ever see the episode that Greg and Dana Newkirk did when they were there? Oh, you got to check that out. So they came in, and they kind of took the approach of they didn't want to talk to spirits in the house. They just wanted to talk to the house, because everybody always says the house does this, the house is its own entity, and they kind of approached their investigation in that aspect, and they came up with some pretty bone chilling cool stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get off these comments. You guys are doing awesome on this comments. Where is it? It's going so fast I can't keep up with them. So I have a couple more pictures of some activity that you sent.
Yeah.
This is just
that's just a picture in the window. You can now. Some people say that's periodola. I mean that some people say that's could be a lot of things. But to me, damn it looks like a freaking face. Like I see a face there with two eyes, like
you
where
see
the
eye
nose and the mouth.
You see the mouth,
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Like that's just my perspective. That's what I see. It could it be something else? Sure. Like I didn't take the picture myself. It was presented to me, and I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a cool picture.
For sure. Yeah, anytime that I go to haunted locations, I always take pictures of mirrors or windows, or you never know. Like when I went to Penhurst, that's the one and only thing that I looked at the whole time that I was walking around this property was mirrors and windows, and You never know what's staring at you.
Yeah, yeah.
um, actually,
This is
it's,
my favorite picture. Like this is
this is
just,
just
to me, that's like the whole. So that's in front of Laura's room, and that's the picture I
wow.
showed to Clara, and that's the picture she believes is her daughter. Uh, so we've actually, out of respect to the family, we don't like put a lot out about like the family and talk about the family a lot. The Dandy family lived there. They had crap happen to them.
Yeah,
But this is just just an unremarkable picture that was captured, and that we believe is Laura. We've had people try to talk to her before and gotten responses back. Clara always told me that she put Vicks Vapor Rub on her chest to help her calm her down. She had a lot. Out of all the kids that were in that house, she was probably the one that was affected the most out of all the children. They were all affected. They all have reasons to be freaked out about the location, but
yeah.
she was affected the most, I think, and she this one investigator, Carissa Hartley, Bill Hartley's wife, she was there with her group before she was married, and she took a bottle of Vicks Vapor Rub and she put it on Laura's bed, and then we went to go have dinner, and when we came back, there was a fingerprint in the Vicks Vapor Rub. I mean, like, who does that?
Wow.
Like, really cool.
Ah, that's
Yeah,
awesome. That's just the investigator and me like, yes.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
so cool. It was so cool.
That's kind of like putting baby powder on the floor and having footprints.
I think that would
That's
freak me out if all of a
oh
sudden I just started seeing footprints in the baby powder, dude. I'd be like,
yeah,
get me the heck out of here.
you
Like,
should try it. You should try it.
yeah. Well, then I have to clean it up.
Yeah, that's what we got vacuums for.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess we could try it.
you never know. It'd be interesting if you actually did get something off of that, because you see
Yeah.
it in movies, you see it. I've I've always wanted to try it. Maybe I should try it next investigation. But
Hey, thanks for stopping in, Mason. Thanks for your input too.
thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Everybody in the comments. I know I've been neglecting you guys. I'm sorry. I've been trying to get everybody on, but thank you for coming in and enjoying the show. Go hit that like and subscribe. We
Absolutely.
talked about Laura last time we were there. She even sat on the bed and had a good 10-minute conversation with her. Wow. That's awesome. So I have one more picture, but I know there's a couple videos that you sent me.
Yes.
If anybody's ever watched the show, I don't watch these videos until now. So these are live reactions. So let's play one of the videos, and then we'll have a conversation about it after.
All right, sounds good.
Let's play a game, Laura. If you're up here, I'm going to knock on the wall. If you're in your room, could you please knock back? I was just about to say, touch that ball.
Hi, honey. Sorry, you spooked me. You're very cold when you get near.
So that you could hear the faint two knocks. You really gotta put like headphones on. But then that EVP that they got of the little girl saying hello was just so clear. Hello, like
Do
geez.
you hear that with your own ears when you're in the house, or
Yeah, so there's been groups that have been there. There have been teams that have been there that will just hear things audibly. They don't need a recorder to hear it. And the cool thing is that the cameras that are recording are catching it as well. So I had my friend Diana, who's helps do tours there and stuff like that. She's from South Carolina. She was there and she wanted to kind of do she's never had paranormal happen to her before. She's into it. She loves it. She loves the show. So she's spending, I felt she was okay where she could spend the night at the house by herself. She wanted to do this. And I'm like, all right, you're crazy, but go ahead, she was in contact with me and then she started hearing the voices. And I said, well, put on your recorder. And we were able to capture it, what she heard on the cameras that were in the house and on the recorder on her phone. And then, it was all simultaneously that it was heard. So Oh yeah. Oh, Sharon says, have you heard the EVP of a cat meowing? Casey got a pic of a cat on the stairs. There's also a pic of a dog in front of Mike's room. Did I send you the picture of the dog that I caught
Uh,
in the kitchen? It was like purple. Oh shit, sorry.
oh,
But yeah, no, we've captured pictures, ghost pictures of cats and dogs. We've
wow.
captured Casey Colburn, who helped with tours there, has got an EVP of a cat. We've gotten so many different EVPs of like cats meowing, and it was trying to think of Richard Estep, Richard Estep from Paranormal Caught on Camera. He caught amazing EVP of a cat. Clara actually had a lot of animals when they moved there. She had a pet raccoon named Princess. She had dogs. She had
Nice.
a cat. She had a groundhog. I mean, she needed to be in the country with all those animals, you know?
Yeah. I know I have a video that Bree sent me from Wildwood that she was just filming, and you can literally hear a cat purring and like scraping against the camera, and just that's
It's
crazy.
cool. It's cool to know that
I don't.
maybe your furry friends are waiting for you after, you know?
Yeah. Do you have that sensation like a cat like walking in between your legs and rubbing against your legs? And is
Yeah,
that
we've captured some really cool. Like if you go on my YouTube, try to find the pictures of Jackie said that Flo had a couple of cats too. That's really cool. I forgot about that. That's right. Jackie is Flo's granddaughter that comes up to the house now and she does tours
okay?
and she helps out. But it's funny, like the first night when I got that stuff happening with Flo and the K2 meter, that story I told about earlier.
Yeah.
If you're coming in now, you're gonna have to go back and listen to it. Sorry. But
Uh,
that next morning, I posted a picture of the Hinsdale House on my Facebook page, and this is how I met Jackie. Right, so I just get this random message from this girl named Jackie, and she's like, "Well, that looks a lot like my grandparents' old house." Now, mind you, the night before, I had what I thought was a conversation with her grandmother at the house. Didn't know any of the family,
oh,
and I posted the picture, and here she is sending me a message. There's Jackie. She's in the chat now, sending me a message saying, that used to be my grandparents' house, and that also like basically like solidified it for me. I'm like, what are the chances that I'm going to talk to her granddaughter after I just spoke with her, and yeah, that's crazy.
that is
And
pretty
not
crazy.
only is Jackie a good investigator, she does a birthday party for her grandma, like a birthday investigation for her grandma. She's the best baker. So if you go to
That's
that birthday
awesome.
investigation, you're gonna get like the most amazing cupcakes and bakeries and stuff like that. You have to sing happy birthday to Flo, but you get to have some amazing confections.
That's awesome. Um, so I do have a question about the exorcisms and everything.
Sure.
Do you still get activity from that? Do you still get EVPs mentioning the stuff from the exorcisms, or is
Yeah,
there anything evil in the house from the exorcisms?
I think there's definitely we've been focusing on bringing out the positive energies in the location since I've owned it.
Okay,
There's definitely a heavy hitting energy there, a darker energy. I think it's more attached to the land than it is the house itself, and it's rooted there. It's not going
yeah,
anywhere, and I feel like um, yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, we've gotten, you will be having a great EVP session, then all of a sudden it'll just turn dark. But I think like what they deemed as demonic back in the 1970s, and I'm not trying to slough it off either. It very well could be, you know.
yeah,
But back what we know today is not what we knew back then. You know what I mean?
right, right,
It's everything was deemed demonic back then. So but no, we definitely have that darker, heavy energy coming through sometimes, and most of the teams are well prepared to deal with that type of stuff that come there. They know that it could possibly happen, and I wouldn't embrace it, and I tell them not to. But
okay,
it's their investigation, and if they want to go down that dark road, they can. But most teams tend not to, and they get a lot of great interaction with the other energies that are there. Move on to something else. Don't pay it any attention, and try to focus on
right,
positive energies that are there.
right. Now I know everybody has their certain rules, uh, like Ouija boards and seances and all that. Is that a no go in the house, or
No, No, I've used the Ouija board. We have Ouija boards available for people to use if they want to use them. I feel
Right.
like it's just another form of communication. If you know what you're doing,
Sure. For sure.
feel free. Like it's not a seance. It's a psychic. It's a psychic type thing. It's a way to try to possibly connect. And
Yeah.
if that works, if they can maybe put an exclamation point on something or figure something out that way, I embrace it.
Yeah.
Especially with people that have done it and they know what they're doing. I mean, what's it going to hurt?
Right.
As long as
I
it's
mean,
being done in a respectable way. I mean,
right. I mean, that's what I tell people all the time. They're so scared about using Ouija boards and all this because you're opening portals. You're
well,
doing
I
the same
think
thing when you're doing the Estes method. You're doing the same thing when you use the spirit box. Like,
it's just a taboo that it gets from television. It's a taboo that
yeah,
it gets from, the stories that you hear, like who didn't play with a Ouija board when they were a kid and
right.
that, had
I mean,
something happen or whatever.
I
Yeah.
got one right here. Like, like I have
So
a chat on my hand. Like, I don't.
I get a
I'm
lot of shit, like I embrace kids, teenagers that, like I think that they're the next generation. Let's train them right. Let's not
yeah,
have them
for
breaking into
sure.
places and doing things the wrong way and antagonizing energies and human spirits. Let's teach them how to do it the right way. And if somebody has a problem with it, they can go kiss, suck it. I don't care. This is
Yeah,
what I do. This is what I believe in. It's my location. It's not yours. And if you want to try to, you know, give me shit, go ahead. It is what it is.
right.
I don't,
For sure.
I don't talk about it much.
I mean, everybody has their own thoughts, and I mean, until you go into locations like this and it proves you wrong. I mean,
Exactly.
I've met multiple people that I go into locations because they want to know. They're more curious about.
Yeah, you
Is,
see it on TV. Let's see if something will happen to me. That's a lot
yeah,
of people come in. Oh, I saw it on YouTube or I saw it here. Let's
yeah,
see if we can have what happened to them happen to me here.
yeah.
Tell you
I
what,
like going into
it happens.
locations and being, if you're going to be an asshole to somebody in real life, they're going to tell you to F off. I feel it's the same way with the spirits. Like, they're not
Yeah,
going to talk to you if you're there being an asshole. Like,
exactly.
I mean, I always go in with the most respect. I mean, I'm going into your house. I'm going into their house. Like, I'm not going in just to be, oh, what's up, spirits, or, but I don't know. Everybody investigates differently. Yeah, I'm trying. I had them the other day. What's up,
What's that?
Don? I don't know. Um,
No, Marcy had said nice memorabilia in the back. I was like, yeah, Josh Allen, baby.
oh, I'm not a big football guy. I don't.
Well, we don't have much to root up here in Buffalo except for football and hockey. So
Got ya.
we love
Well,
our Bills up here,
got ya.
and the
Well,
Hinsdale House, of course.
I was gonna say, and the hints
Yeah,
and Wildwood.
yeah. Oh, there's and Rolling Hills is right here. We have a ton of great, amazing haunted locations up this way. So like somebody like for you, for instance, I want to come and do a paranormal road trip. Hit me up. I can hook you up with so many cool locations on the route up here. You
That's
got Niagara Falls, you got the Enchanted Mountains, you got cool things to do during the day. We can set up a whole paranormal trip for you. And
that's
I know
awesome.
Brookie at Wildwood and Sharon at Rolling Hills, Heather at Greystone Manor. There's tons of amazing locations. The Western Block in Lockport, which is open now to do overnight investigations. So we have
That's
a ton
awesome.
of. It's right next to the old lock system too, the Erie Canal locks.
Yeah,
We've captured some amazing stuff. I'm gonna start talking about other locations, but we
yeah,
all work together. I put it that way. It's not like other parts of the world where you go into where it's like a big competition. All
right.
the locations in Western New York work together and work with each other and promote each other. And
I feel like
Iron
that's
Island
what it
Museum.
should be. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
we're
It's not a
all in this
competition.
for the same thing, right? Like, I
Iron
don't.
Island and Lovejoy,
There's
Iron Island Museum. Yeah, that's been on TV a lot too.
there's no difference between my team and another team other than you might have some little better, more equipment than I do, but we're all there for the same thing. We're all there to do the same investigation.
Yep.
So
And every team, I've never met a team that wants to turn down an investigation. Like if you have a chance to go into a location and investigate, you're gonna go. You're gonna take the owners up on that, you know. So
for sure.
we have a ton of them here, and it's a ton of cool locations. So if you're ever looking to come up to do a trip, you know, Western New York's the place, one of the cool places to go for sure. And like I said, we got a lot of locations that work well with each other. I mean, you can even go online and book a night at Hinsdale and a night at Wildwood and get $150 off because you booked both locations. Did you know
Oh
that?
wow. No.
Yeah, I mean,
didn't know that.
we all work together. It's all good.
Wow. I'm trying to get through all these comments. Sorry if I'm going so fast, guys, but I want everybody's voice to be heard.
It's gonna turn into a fantasy football chat in a few seconds. Look, I see how this is going.
Yeah. I want to
We
go
want
to
to go to
Rolling Asylum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great location, amazing location, really cool.
Well, I know Brooke and Zach and everybody keeps telling me to come up there, and I have my friend Otto that lives up in New York in Syracuse, so maybe we can
there's
all
some cool locations in Syracuse too, and then there's there's right along the whole through Rochester, and Palmyra has a really cool old haunted like basically a haunted town, which is really cool that you can go into, and the old yeah, I mean there's some really cool places. Like seriously, like if you're gonna come up here, you know, hit us up, and Brooke, you can help, I can help, you know, we can get you into some cool places. Start in Syracuse, make your way to Buffalo, and you know, there's some, you know, make a paranormal road trip out of it.
for sure. If anybody's watching and would like to fund that trip, message me. So we have one more picture which I've been saving because
All right.
I love this picture. Let me get one of these away.
Oh yes.
Like that just
Isn't that creepy as
it looks
AF?
like a boar's head.
6'7", man, 6'7".
Yeah. Oh God.
So let me tell you a little bit about this one, and then that'll be the end of the night for us because it's getting late. But so Jeff Fent, if anybody's familiar with Jeff Fent, I know somebody was talking about Jeff Fent boxes in the chat there earlier. I at least saw him mentioned. But Jeff Fent, he produces spirit boxes, right? And he takes wood from haunted locations that may have energy attached to them, and he builds these amazing cases and
I
does
didn't
these.
know that.
Oh yeah, he's out of Columbus, Ohio. He's really involved with Adam in all his locations in Ohio and Indiana, and helps with fixing them up and stuff like that. But anyways, he comes to Hinsdale a couple times a year and loves the location. And I remember the one night he says, "Dan, I'm gonna sleep in the forest," and I go, "You're freaking nuts, dude!" Because you know you saw Paranormal Lockdown, you saw people, you know, like feel like something's following you up there or whatever.
Yeah,
He's
sure.
like, I got different light spectrums I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna try to capture this thing that's following everybody. And then he sends me this picture a couple days later, and I'm like, what the hell? You know, what the heck is that? You know, but it's the only explanation I ever got is a puckwudgie, you know, like a protector of Native American burial ground. A shaman from St. Louis had said that to me because I was showing the picture to everybody trying to figure it out. So
do you guys have are you a part of the Appalachian Trail, or are you too far up?
no, we're too far. It goes through Allegheny State Park, which is about 45 minutes to the south.
Got ya. Now, do you guys? I know Indian land and everything. Do you guys have like skinwalkers type of stuff going on?
Some people think
land,
that some people have captured what they think is a skinwalker. Some people have captured witches. And then some people think that is a picture of a skinwalker, you know, like it's definitely Native American ties to all of the land there. We've kept we do have actually I have one right here. Let me show you. Be right back. This is actually one of the ones that we picked out of the ground when we were doing the
Oh wow.
So that's pretty cool, right? And we found like 11 of them. And it's probably a spearhead. Spearhead.
So that is awesome.
So definitely, I mean, if that doesn't tell you there's ties to Native Americans, I mean, then
Oh, for
I don't know what
sure.
else does, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, they I mean, I live here in Florida, so we had a really big Seminole Indians. You know, there was just Indians everywhere here in Florida, different tribes, and yeah, my buddies find arrowheads all the time. Now,
It's
do you
cool. I
think?
mean, the Senecas, it's their territory right now, the Seneca natives, but they, in order, because there's burial mounds, and the Senecas weren't mound builders, so you have to actually like try to date back to the tribes before they like split up, you
Yeah,
know, and absorbed each other. And I believe the last mound builders that we found in the history were it was called the Renway tribe, which was native to the New York area that was absorbed, you know, through other tribes as they, you know, were killed off or, you know, went together. So, but yeah, I mean, it's tough doing Native American history unless you have somebody in the system that will help you, you know,
for
because they
sure.
keep a lot of
Sure.
that stuff to themselves. So.
Now, have you had any like shamans or anything from Indian wise come and
Yeah.
bless the land, or
We've had drum circles, we've had different shamans come up, we've had priests from different religions come up, we've had witches come up, we've had all different types of lay people come up to bless the house. I feel like the house has so many different layers. A Catholic exorcism, structural exorcism didn't work. So
yeah,
possibly bringing in different types of belief systems and allowing their positiveness intentions into the house and the land has really helped, you know, the way that they've come in and done things. So
yeah?
I think just letting them all know that they were all come in peace, you know, in
Yeah,
one way or
for
another,
sure.
and that we can
Now
all coexist.
we have one more video that I've been saving to
All
get
right.
in this conversation. Um,
I live about 45 minutes away from the house, just answering a quick question that was out there. So
yeah. So let's play this video and we'll have a conversation.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a series of yes and no questions. If you could ring the bell 1 time for yes and 2 times for no, that would help. Please and thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You still here with us?
Okay, thank you.
Do you think I'm real?
I know that you are real. Why did I have an attitude?
I don't know.
Oh my gracious.
we
Never sounded like that before.
we know you're real. We've sensed you.
No?
No.
Okay.
So how cool is that? That, you know, we're all out buying these $2,000 pieces of equipment. All we needed to get was one of those little bells,
Yeah,
just a bell.
I literally just got one. I haven't used it yet. So I next investigation, hopefully I get to use it.
So I had just to kind of explain the whole tree up there and all the things that were hanging from it. That's up behind the house in the forest. And Amy Perry Brock, who used to do overnight tours at the house when I first bought it, started doing. She wanted to kind of let the worlds combine of the Native Americans and the spirits
Yeah.
that were there and the people that were for the tours. So what she started doing is offerings to the tree or offerings to the area, and
Right.
it's kind of taken off. It's become a spectacle now. It's the giving tree behind the house. And she started off by the teams that were there were making like little feathers and hanging them from the tree. And now we've got, I mean, you name it. There's people have brought stuff up as offerings for the energies that are up there. It's really cool. Just to know that all that stuff's been donated and positiveness to the land and property has really helped with the communication. As you could saw, you know, with just using a bell up there,
Yeah.
you know, they're responding to you. It's really
yeah.
cool.
That's awesome. I mean, hopefully I get up there eventually. I've actually never been to New York. I lived in Pennsylvania for like 6 years. That's the highest I've been up in the United States. So hopefully I get to come up one day or a week or so.
Yeah.
You know,
Do it.
up all of it. So we've been to the Giving Tree. Nice. So is there anything that you would like to promote? Anything that's going on about the Hinsdale House that you would like to know or let people know?
Just if you're interested in coming up for a tour or doing an overnight investigation, get on it quick. You know, they're booking up quick. HauntedHinsdaleHouse.com. If you want to support the location and our restoration efforts, I have a Patreon, Hinsdale House Museum on Patreon that you can support there, or you can buy some merch if you go to my shop, danielclass.shop, danielclass.com, and my name there, and then if you go to danielclass.com, that's the easiest way to do it. I should have just said that first. There'll be links for the Hinsdale House, booking the Hinsdale House, any events that I'll be at, Patreon, all that stuff's on my main page. So just go to the links.
So anybody that is interested in that, scan this QR code and it will go straight to the Hinsdale House Facebook, and you'll be able to get hold of him or any of the things he said. Man, I feel like we've done the interview. Now we got to get in the house.
Let's do it.
Maybe we can do a walkthrough, a little investigation type thing, or we can get offline.
We can go live with my 360 cam. That would be cool.
Awesome. That would be cool. We have a couple more comments before we go. It said grandmother was half Native American. Wow. So the team, and I plan to go in January. Well, I hope you guys, everybody that's going there, has an amazing investigation, because that's what this show's about. I love para-unity, and I love being together and investigating, and I love paranormal. And it's people like you that own these locations. They let us get into these places and, you know, enjoy our passion. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
But I want to greatly appreciate you coming on, and I hope you have a great night, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Sounds good. Hopefully less than 2 years this time, right?
Yes. Yeah. I've been trying to get hold of this man for 2 years, Brooke and Zach. I know. It's okay. But we made it happen, and I'm so glad that we know each other now, and we've built this relationship. But everybody that's watching on YouTube, on the Hinsdale Facebook, everybody go like and subscribe for Daniel. Support his cause, support the house. And if you want to, hit that like and subscribe for my channel. It helps me grow and do these awesome interviews. But I want to greatly appreciate you coming on, and I hope you have a great night, Daniel.
Thank you. And go Bills.
Go Bills.
You said it. All right.
I did.
Cool.
I did. I'll support it. I don't know anything about football, but I'll support it. But remember, always stay creepy, friends. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
See you.